Incredibly blessed because every morning when I get up, my wife provides for me a marvelous fruit plate. Every morning we have cut fruit. Most mornings we have some grains, granola, and I am so blessed to have this table prepared for me each day. And Tina, tonight we're going to talk about breakfast, we're going to talk about dinner, we're going to talk about supper. You're going to do a marathon cooking, and when I see all these trays here, I know you want to help us to be healthier, to happier, and live longer.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
And welcome again to what? Secrets to Wellness. We've been studying the secrets to wellness, and we have been studying about how we can live what? Healthier, happier, and longer. Yes, and so we have been studying 8 simple natural remedies for good health. And we took you through a whole little mini series on water. And I tell you every morning, in fact, this is the glass that I drink out of. It says for life, for life. And so I know I need this water for life. And so that reminds me to make sure that I drink that water because we need 8-ounce glasses of water every day to truly be healthy. And then we talked about the importance of exercise and how love and actually people who have not only love to one another but love and trust in God actually are healthier. And then lifestyle. And we discussed what temperance and abstemiousness was. And how did we define that? Anything that is harmful to our health. We want to abstain from anything that's harmful to our health and eat moderately that which is good. And we discussed that. And then last week we discussed nutrition and how that if we are on God's original diet of fruits, nuts, grains, and vegetables, that we truly can live healthier and longer. And so tonight we're going to continue with nutrition. That's my favorite subject. I teach nutrition and I love, whoops, it just looks like our graphics are back up. And so here we are going to live to a healthy 100 because you see the centenarians have something on their table or in their cupboard all the time, and that is they have a fruit basket or a fruit bowl, and they are living to a healthy 100. And so we're going to be talking about how we too can live to that healthy 100. And natural lifestyle cooking leads us to better health. The more we are conscious of what we are putting into our bodies, the healthier we will be. You see, the Eden diet originally was a plant-based diet of fruits, nuts, grains, and vegetables. And God doesn't want to take anything away from us today. He's not saying, I don't want you to eat these unclean foods that we talked about last week in the subject of lifestyle, to take something away from you. He's saying, I want you to be healthy. I don't want you to get all these chronic diseases that are so prevalent, not only here in our country, but around the world. And obesity is on the rise with over 56% around the world, but 66.2% here in America. So we're going to be talking tonight about how we can plan a balanced menu. So we're going to talk about breakfast, dinner, and supper on a plant-based diet. That's what we're going to do tonight. And if you remember, we talked about the chart that we have that will actually help us to have some kind of guidance, some kind of a nutritional chart that will give us guidance. So if we look at the government has provided a new chart. If you look back years ago, many years ago, they started with the basic 4, and then they had the basic 7, and then they had the pyramid, and then there was my pyramid, and then there was my plate. And in 1992, we had my plate. And the vegetables are the largest portion that we should have on our plate. And then we have fruits, grains, protein, and the government has said the dairy. However, if you recall that Harvard University Medical School came back and said, if you truly want to be healthy, then what you need to do is, yes, have the vegetables, have the fruits, but not just grains, but whole grains. Amazing. Harvard University Medical School, which is Harvard University, founded in the 1600s, is one of the most prestigious medical schools and universities here in America. And they not only have said whole grains, but healthy protein. In fact, get some of those good proteins like beans and nuts and limit all those red meats and cheese and avoid bacon and cold cuts and all those other processed meats. So this is what we're going to be going on. And so we're going to talk about, let's go back here. We're going back here. I think something jumped. We're going to talk first of all about making breakfast a better meal. So many people skip breakfast, and one of the reasons they skip breakfast is because they feel that it's too inconvenient or they're too rushed. They can't do it. So often, even in my own home, I set the table the night before. Amazing how that little thing can be so effective. So I set the table. I actually put my placemats on, my tablecloth. I put my bowls on. I get everything. In fact, I was doing this, and we had a number of young people living in our home, and it was about 10 o'clock at night, and I decided that it was going to be very rushed in the morning. I was feeding at least 10 people in my home, and someone said, wow, the Finleys eat late, don't they? And one of the young people in our home that was living there said, oh, Mrs. Finley is setting the table for breakfast. And so it can save you some time. So just this little thing, and if you make some granola ahead of time, you can actually put that in a container, a covered container, and put that on as well. And so we want to make breakfast a better meal. How do we do this? Well, because it's well planned. We want to plan well, and we want to make it nutritious and delicious and simple and easy and attractive. That's why we've spent the time doing all of this display, because I know that if something looks good and it's attractive, you feel like eating, right? And so that's very important. And then it's full of variety, and we're going to show you some variety tonight. My goal is simply this. So many people, and many of you even here, have said, how do you eat on a plant-based diet? What do you eat for breakfast? What do you eat even for dinner? What do you eat for supper? So we're going to show you in just a few minutes all the different varieties that we can have, and we're going to then place it on our display table. And then eating at regular times. Finding a regular time to eat is very important. In fact, it's so important that studies have been done that talk about the fact then that when we have even regular meals and we eat lighter in the evening and we don't eat snacks, we actually live longer and avoid chronic diseases. Recent studies have been done out of Prague University in Czechoslovakia and out of Loma Linda University Medical School that actually shows, even for diabetics, that 2 meals, no more than 3 meals, and no snacking is better than the 6 meals that are being promoted today.